If you're looking for an easy jazz blues, then Freddie Freeloader is just the standard for you. It's a 12-bar blues, but with one slight but very cool difference. In this jazz guitar lesson, I'll teach you the chords and break down the harmony, as well as provide some practical practice tips for your musical development. Firstly, some context for the song. Freddie Freeloader was written in 1959 by Miles Davis. Now, this is a track from the legendary album Kind of Blue. Now, naturally, I'd recommend listening to that version first, but I'd also recommend you listen to the Wes Montgomery version as well as the Mark Whitfield version too. Oh, just to say, all of the lesson resources today are on the lowest tier of my Patreon page, the supporter tier, link in the description. You'll get access to all of the PDFs from today's lesson. Now, the chord shapes for this one are very simple and are as follows. B flat 7 off the E string, and that's a root, flat 7 and 3 voicing. E flat 7 off the A string, root, third, flat 7. Use that same shape for F7. Again, it'd be root, third, flat 7. So we've got 3 note voicings here. Just missing the 5th. And then A flat 7 off the E string. Again, root, flat 7, 3. Now, it would be fairly common to reduce those chords to just 2 notes, and that would give you the following voicings. Now, if we took the bass note, the root note, away, we'd be left with the 3rd and the 7th, and this would be a great way to play it also. So for B flat 7, that would just give us this. So we're missing our B flat, but the bass player is going to play that anyway. And then for E flat 7, we'd have this. And then for F7, we'd have this. And then for A flat 7, you'd want this. Form-wise, it's a 12-bar blues, but with one difference. The head form is twice around the changes, but the first time you play the first ending, and the second time you play the second time ending, giving us a 24-bar form essentially for the head, but it really is just a jazz blues form with the last 2 bars being different on the head changes. And that's one thing you've got to watch out for. We have changes for the head, and then we have soloing changes, which would be just the first time bars. So you just use these 12 bars for when soloing. So the only time you play this line here with this second time ending is on the head, and it's this second time round on the head. So as jazz blues tunes go, this is pretty simple, but with one neat little change. Now we start out with 4 bars of B flat 7. Now, depending on the context here, you might want to pick a rhythm that you play, or play sustain chords, but if there was no drummer, you might equally want to lay down like a 4 to the bar swing feel. But we start out with 4 bars of B flat. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We then move to 2 bars of E flat 7. Before we go back to B flat 7 for 2 bars. And then the first ending goes F7, bar of E flat 7, and then the surprise change to A flat 7 for 2 bars. I'll explain that later. We then have these repeat dots here at the end after that A flat 7. That pings you back to the beginning, and we do that all again. That being 4 bars of B flat, 2 bars of E flat 7, 2 bars of B flat 7, and then we're now on the second time round, so we skip out this line, and then we're going to jump to F7 for a bar, E flat 7 for a bar, before going back to B flat 7 for 2 bars. And that is the changes for the head. So we'd go twice round. First time you take this ending, second time you take this ending. So just initial reaction to things that are a little bit different in this one. Well, for a start, we stay on the first chord for 4 bars. Quite often in a blues, we're changed to the 4 chord in bar 2. Also, the changes are quite basic, really. We've got F7 to E flat 7 here, where normally you'd have a 2-5. Normally you'd see C minor 7 to F7 there. And also it's these 2 bars of A flat 7, which are really interesting. When we go to that A flat 7, it's kind of a quirky feeling to that chord. It's interesting. Whereas the second time ending on the head just gives us that resolution back to B flat, our home 1 chord, if you like. So the really essential key thing to remember, especially when playing this with other people, is that we use the first time bar ending, so the A flat 7, the line that ends in A flat 7, for the solos. So you never play the second ending during the solos. So let me play that for you. I'm going to play the changes for the melody, so twice round, and I'll play the first chorus where the soloing changes would be. Now I just picked out a rhythm and stuck to it as I played to the backing track there. Something you might try next is ditching the bass note of each chord and using voicings that are just third and seventh. So all of these chord voicings we've been using include the root, flat 7 and third for each of them. Root, 3, flat 7, root, 3, flat 7, root, flat 7, 3. So what we can do is take away the root, just be left with the all-important third, which gives the chord the major quality, and then the seventh, the flat 7th, which gives it that bluesy feel. If I just played with just the third and seventh, so with this for B flat, this for E flat, this for F7, and this for A flat 7, it would sound like this. Now the question whether to use full chords or what rhythm to play, it really does depend on the context you're playing in. This lesson is really just to teach the chords and harmony, how you then go about actually playing it rhythmically, and how you might modify those voicings will be determined by what other instruments you are playing with and the role of the guitar in that scenario. Now over on Patreon I have a comping study that covers how to embellish these chords further through extensions and all-important voice leading. That will be on the Standards Essentials tier. Some thoughts on what to aim for this song for your musical development. Firstly, aim to memorize the form and the chords. The sooner you can play this and you're off chart, the better. Over time, if you do that with tunes, you just end up feeling where you are as you're playing because you internalize the sound of the chord changes and the form, and that is the essential foundation to solo over a song with freedom, because then you just instinctively know where you are at any moment in time. Secondly, try playing along with a backing track, or even better, the Miles Davis recording or other recordings. That will really help you practice not losing your place and also figuring how to fit in with other instruments. Now moving on to the harmonic analysis and some quick observations first off. That A flat 7, it's interesting, right? That's the point of difference to most jazz blues tunes. But the rest of the changes are incredibly simple. There's none of those crazy bird blues changes that you get in the bebop era, and I think the simplicity is down to the time and also the album that this song is taken from, where things got pared back a bit chordally and gave the soloist more space to create over. Now to understand the harmony, let's think about what key we're in. We are in the key of B flat. If we took a B flat major scale, which has 2 flats, and harmonized that into 7th chords, we get the following 7 chords. Chord 1, B flat major 7, chord 2, C minor 7, 3, D minor 7, 4, E flat major 7, 5, F7, 6, G minor 7, chord 7, A minor 7 flat 5. Let's resolve back to 1. So that's our 7 chords you'd usually get in the key of B flat. Cross-referencing our chart, technically we only have one of those chords, F7, here and here are chord 5. But the key thing is that the other chords, apart from the A flat 7, they are built off notes in the key of B flat, so the root, the 4th and the 5th. and we've got this A flat, which I'll come to. So we start out on B flat 7. That is chord 1 as a dominant. Classic thing to do in a blues, of course. So we call that 1-7. So we have 4 bars of that. In bar 5, we move to the 4 chord, but as a dominant again, so a secondary dominant. So I would label this 4-7, chord 4 as a dominant. We go back then to chord 1 as a dominant, 1-7. Then we hit the 5 chord, move back to the 4, and now we hit this anomaly. We hit this A flat 7. Let's first think about the relationship of A flat to B flat. If this is our root, if we go down a tone, that's what's called the minor 7th, right? If I did a B flat scale but flat in the 7th, there we have the flat 7, what we call the dominant scale or Mixolydian mode. And if I actually played a B flat 7 arpeggio, B flat, D, F, A flat, it's one of the chord tones of that. So there is a strong relationship obviously between A flat and B flat. A flat is the minor 7th, the flat 7 of B flat, and it's a chord tone in a B flat 7 arpeggio. But as we saw when I broke down the chords in the key of B flat, we get A minor 7 flat 5 as chord 7. So the A flat would be labelled as a flat 7-7, as it's built off the flat 7 from the key of B flat. Now this chord has a nickname, and it's known as the backdoor dominant, a way to resolve back to chord 1 from underneath the root. Here's our root, our B flat chord home, we resolve, we go underneath it, and it resolves back. It's another way basically to get back to chord 1, and if you think we're going from A flat to B flat, which has a different feel to the traditional 5-1 perfect cadence, which would be F flat 7 to B flat 7. Listen to the 2. That's the backdoor. Here's the typical dominant 5-1. Both work in their own ways. The A flat 7 has a slightly more quirky sound. It's maybe less common, but it's really neat. Now the backdoor dominant there is the big difference, but also we have that 5-4 before that, which is usually played in a regular jazz blues as 2-5. So, you know, I would normally expect to see where it's got F7, E flat 7, you'd normally have 2-5, so C minor 7, F7. Whereas here we've got F7, E flat 7, which is something you just see in regular blues harmony, not jazz blues harmony, usually. Let's just recap everything to make sure you're crystal clear on it. So we start out on 4 bars of chord 1, 1-7. Before we move to 2 bars of 4-7. Then 2 bars of 1-7. Then the first ending, 5, 4, flat 7-7, back door. We then go back to the beginning, back to chord 1, and then the second time ending, do everything the same, but then skip out our A flat 7 line, and the second time on the head changes we go 5, 4, 1, and so forth, and we go round, then back to the soloing changes, just taking the first time ending. This tune is off a classic jazz album, and if you want to learn another great tune off Kind of Blue, then check out my lessons on So What. Now don't forget, jazz guitar lessons here every Monday. Until next time, you take care.